Your baby's close to you. There's someone out there.
What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and today's missing person case is Don. Also, today's person of interest is Olivia. Today's missing person case is Courtney.
Hello? Oh, nothing more creepier than a freaking shaft. Hello? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Chris with the Mob Crew. I appreciate everybody. Happy 4th of July, or early 4th of July. I've got a great show for you guys. I was doing a little digging, and I think I might have found where they were talking about the cell phone location where it last pinged. It may not be accurate, but you know, I'll show you guys, because in the first interview with the mother, she talks about how the cell phone pinged in the gully. And so I was kind of looking through that, and I'm like, oh gosh, I think I know where that is, because we were flying over there and stuff. So we'll go over that. And also, if you want to become a member and you don't know about it, there's a link that my mods can drop for you, and then you just click join. If you're on iPhone, it's a little bit, there's a few more steps you got to do, but there'll be a list that they can post up there. You have to usually get on an Android or a laptop. It's a lot easier. iPhone, it's kind of they're not cooperating with Google, so. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much, mods, for dropping that. So, I've got the best mods, so shout out to the mods. Thank you guys so much for everything you guys do. You guys are amazing. And I will try to shout anybody out. As you can see at the top up here, these are my top supporters. So from the Mob Crew, that is the top tier. So thank you guys so much for your support. You guys are amazing. We got Gizla in the house. Thank you so much. Shout out to Grizzly True Crime. She's the one to help us get out there the second time. And we are planning a third trip. So that's kind of the big news that I was talking about in my last video. So let me clear that real quick. And yep, I've got a couple of new emojis. So we got the, just in case you guys need to get my attention, we've got the mods logo. And then I'm gonna work on the squirrel one. So I got, for the members, I'm gonna have the squirrel video for you guys. I'm gonna try to get that out tonight. So that's me in the encounter with the squirrel at the thing. Joyce Smith, thank you so much for becoming a member. You're amazing. So real quick before we get started, for those that are new to the channel, I am Chris with Monsters Under the Bed. I cover murder, mystery to the paranormal, and I like to feature the missing in all my shows. So this was a special request from a family member. So this is Donald Kelley. I'm gonna get up there a little bit better and zoom him in there. So he was 56. He went missing on March 31st of this year. He's kind of got blue gray eyes, brown hair, short brown hair, and went missing in Virginia. Let's see. He may be driving a red Kia Sportage. According to his family, Donald would never go this long without contacting a family member. He may be in need of medical attention. So if anybody's out that way, keep an eye out for him. Thank you so much, Emo Jim. Oh, I might have to slow down the chat. It's already going too fast. Thank you, buddy, for becoming a member. What's up, Tom N? I'll have to go back and watch Work Call. Have a great day, and everyone. Love this channel. Thanks, Chris and Mods. Thanks, Tom, so much for the $20. You're awesome. He is a busy man. All right. Let's go real quick. Let me show one we're missing, then we'll slow down the chat here. So, of course, just before Dylan went missing, we have Aiden Clune, who went missing just a month prior. Let me zoom that in there. Get this out of the way. And that was on April 27th, just a month prior to Dylan's. And this was in Wells, Nevada, 50 miles south near Currie. So we were going to plan to go out look for him. We were going to try to do both, go out there for Dylan and Aiden. But we might have to do 2 separate trips. So we still have Aiden in mind, of course. And we'd love to go help him out because we kind of feel bad. You got 2 kids that go missing. One kid gets national attention, the other doesn't. I could only imagine what the mother is going through with that. So, but we will, if we can, we will definitely try to get out there. And thanks, Apple Pip, member for 4 months. Congratulations, that's awesome. Okay, let me, before we get started, let me quickly turn down the chat just a little bit more. And then, so, let's see. Customization, let's drop it to 5, that should work. Okay, cool. All right, thank you so much, Kaz, for becoming a member. Thank you so much. All right, McKinnon, Mac Kinnon, honor the hard work you do. Keep looking. Thank you so much. All right, so, and I've got, so let me go over, so we're going to go over just the basic timeline again. We'll also listen to the first interview, and then you'll hear the mother talk about a location that this phone supposedly pinged. And someone made a great point. I think it was Quentin, said that, you can't always rely on where they said the cell phone last ping. Of course, it's an approximate, it's just approximate. But I thought I'd show you where they were talking about. So let's just jump into the timeline real quick, and then we'll show you where the cell phone pinged and talk a little bit about that. So just a quick recap. So he was from Lucin, Utah, worked out there, and also was last seen at a bar in Montello on the 26th, used his debit card, and then on the 28th, 2 days later, his grandma talked to him early in the morning. So here's just a calendar. So he was seen at the Saddle Store on a Thursday, not sure what happened Friday, and then Saturday, which I think something went down, he spoke with his grandmother early in the morning. And so this is where his farm and trailer are located at, which is here. Bring that up just a little bit. And then he was going to put his grain truck away. That's what he told his grandmother. So, and his mom, bring this down a little bit. His mom said that he would usually not even use his vehicle. He would just walk the 5 miles. And I think that's what happened that day. And that's what I kind of talked about in my last videos. I don't even think he took his truck. I think he left his truck, and like his mom said, that he would usually just walk it. And I think he just walked to the grain truck, and then something happened shortly after. And so this is where the grain truck is. Then, of course, when they showed up that Monday, they were looking for him. 2 things that stick out is what they found: the boots over by this little hill over here, this little dirt mound, and then the tire tracks, which we'll kind of talk about that as well. And that's something I talked about in my latest video. And then they, at the farm where his truck was located, it was suspicious because there was seat had been pulled forward. It looked like it had been pressure washed, but they missed the wheel well here. And then one of the biggest things is the gear was set to 4 low, which the mother says that Dylan would never drive in 4 low, and all the family members know that the 4 low doesn't work, which is 4-wheel drive for those that may not know. And because when they had the transmission put in, apparently it was they messed up something, and so the 4-wheel drive doesn't work, so he wouldn't use the 4 low. And so we'll come back to the tire tracks. We'll talk about the cell phone, and then we'll jump back to the tire tracks. So he spoke with his grandmother about 6:50 in the morning, telling her that he was going to put the grain truck inside. And then Dylan's last cell phone ping apparently was at 3:41 later that afternoon, and she says south of the railroad tracks in a gully just inside the 15.4 mile radius. So we'll listen to just that part of the interview, and then I'm going to show you guys where that's at, where she's talking about. Now, I'm not saying that is where, it could have, this could just be a guess as far as the cell phone ping, but I know the location that she was talking about. So thank you, As Pisces. Okay, so let's see. There it is.
You can't. There's no easy way.
Kind of like this is a little bit higher than the Bonneville Salt Flats.
We have nothing else. And they, like I said, search and rescue. They were out here the first night. They got here maybe 5. They didn't even take off and looking until probably 7:30. Yeah. Then they bailed, and then they came back maybe 6 hours that day, and then they said we're calling it, and they all left.
Past that over there, you'll see the hill, and that's the last place his phone was pinged.
Yeah.
Right, that
There.
after.
Right past that shop by the railroad tracks, there's a hill you drop down
The
in.
shop and the railroad tracks,
Yeah.
you can see the road kind of goes like that, and right where it makes the bend, that's
What time is pinged at?
1541, but it gives a 15 point.
Okay, so, and I'll replay that if you didn't hear that. I think that's, let me see if I can turn it up any louder. Okay, it's at 100%. So if you didn't hear that, they say south of the tracks, which is, these are the railroad tracks right here. And then they talk about a bend in the road, which I'm assuming they're either talking about this one. I'm pretty sure they're talking about this one. There's still a little bend right here. And then there's a gully, which, as you can see, this is what you consider gully right here. Now, one of the things when we went out there is we learned of where 2 cell towers were. And so let me zoom out here, and let me shift that over a little bit so you can see better. Oop. Okay. So as you can see, I've got 2 red circles. Okay, so the cell tower that we were pinging off of and we were getting service from was the cell tower up here, which is on Bald Eagle Mountain. And it was really tough to get service with my T-Mobile. Nick, who was with me, he was getting at least like 1 bar. It's not the best service out there, obviously. But this is where that 1 cell tower is. Now, when the mother is interviewed, she talks about how it was just on the outside, almost just barely on the circle of a 15.4 mile radius of a cell tower. And I didn't have, because we've been going over all this drone footage, and I knew about the other cell tower, but I hadn't really done the 15.4 mile radius. But there's a cell tower, and let me see if I can put the right there. It's approximate, but this actually makes sense. So it looks like his phone pinged on this cell tower. I thought it was this one, but it sounds like it's this one, which that makes a lot of sense because it puts it right on the edge, just like the mother talks about. Now, when she's doing that interview, they're over here at the grain truck, and they're kind of pointing this way. And then I'll play it one more time for you guys so you can hear it, and then you'll kind of see it. Sorry, it's as loud as it goes. I know it's not
Search and
the
rescue.
loudest.
They were out here the first night. They got here maybe 5. They didn't even take off and looking until probably 7:30.
Yeah.
Then they bailed, and then they came back maybe 6 hours that day, and then they said, we're calling it, and they all left.
Past that over there, you'll see the hill, and that's the last place his phone was pinged.
Yeah.
Right. That
Where?
after.
Right past that shop by the railroad tracks, there's a hill you drop down
the
in.
shop and the railroad tracks,
Yeah.
you can see the road kind of goes like that, and right where it makes the bend, that's.
Bend.
1541, but it gives a 15.4 mile radius, and the cop showed me on the map. So if you draw that circle from the cell phone tower, this is part right on the edge of it, and the rest of the circle Dylan would have no reason, to be at. It's out in the middle of nowhere, so that's where it was.
Was that before or after he was supposed to call Grandma back?
That was after.
Was after?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can hear it. Yeah, it's a little soft, so I know some people might have some trouble. I apologize, but that is where they're saying that it pinged. Now, which is interesting. So now, if you look at the two towers, and I'm not sure, this one's also a 15-mile radius as well. So with two towers, you would think you could get almost triangulate it, but I'd have to look a little more into that. But you do at least have two towers to where you can narrow it down pretty well. But I find that interesting, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But another thing that's funny is we actually did some drone footage right in this area. And so I'm going to show you that while they're talking for just a minute. But this is the water hole that we were at, where the squirrel incident happened. And then Nick actually flew his drone in this wash right here, up and down. This is actually where I think it's in this wash where you actually see that water heater in. So that's actually right by where this cell phone pinged. So I'm going to show you that real quick. So as you can see, we are. This is the wash. Let's see if we're facing. So this is what you would call Pigeon Mountain. Real quick, let me just show you guys, just so you get an idea where we're at. So Pigeon Mountain is this just what we're looking at is right here. So we're flying our drone in this wash here. Oh, actually, it's this one here. Excuse me. And so that's what you see in the background there. And where is it? So you got the two. I think there's Pigeon Mountain and then another Pigeon Mountain. There's like the smaller Pigeon Mountain range. I'll have to look that up. But this wash kind of follows, and then I think this little hill that is foam pinged, you can't really see it from here, but would have been just, I think, somewhere around over, because you can actually see the tracks right here. So these are the railroad tracks. So does he come back? Okay, so yeah, here's the railroad tracks. And so I think that goalie would have been to the right over here. Yeah, so that water heater was actually in that wash right there. Now Nick's turning it around. So anyway, we wanted to show you that because, as I said, we knew of the cell towers. But the ones that, when we were out there, obviously... out. The tower that we were getting service off was this one here, but we never really went north because we stayed up in this area here mostly, but now we want to focus our attention north, especially someone out here. So I did a video yesterday. Another thing, and I'll kind of talk about my theory, is I think what I find interesting is she talks about how there were no tracks coming in, and we'll listen to that part as well. But she says there were no tire tracks coming in and out that day. And the two times that we went out there, it was right after a storm, and so you'd always see like where the searchers' tracks were at. And so I'm just going to play just a little bit of that video from yesterday.
IdahoNews.com newsroom. Some
to cause him to feel unsafe and store guns, physically searching for Dylan with boots on the ground and with the Phantom 4 drone during week 2 and 3. There was something that was sticking out to me after reviewing the footage, and that is how often we see tire tracks either in the wash or on a random mound or just on the roads themselves. Every time we came out to search, it was just after a storm with wind and rain. From the info we have collected from the locals and other sources, most of the tire tracks are from the searchers from the days prior making these tire tracks, and mostly caused by driving in the mud during or after it rains. But what bugs me is why there's apparently no tracks leading to or from Dylan Round's farm and camper where his truck was found. Usually driving in the mud will leave very noticeable tire tracks, just like the many we saw on the drone footage. On that Saturday, the 28th of May, when Dylan Rounds called his grandmother early in the morning, he said it was about to rain and he needed to put the grain truck in the shed. There was a storm that day and throughout the weekend with heavy rain and wind. If he drove his truck, there should have been noticeable tire tracks to and from his farm, making me think he didn't drive that truck at all on Saturday. His mother said he would often walk the 5 miles to the grain shed and back. I believe he could have walked to the grain shed, and after he parked a grain truck inside, somebody was waiting for him or showed up shortly after, and something went down, and something happened to Dylan Rounds. They would have left his boots near the dirt pile, and then did not fully approach his property in a vehicle, then walked to his farm where the truck was parked, pulled the seat forward to make it seem like maybe a shorter person, and also put the gear to 4 low, and then power washed the truck. Perhaps this was all a ruse to make it look like it was someone who didn't know Dylan personally. It could be possible that Dylan hadn't cleaned his truck in a while, and the mud in the wheel well was caused from driving in the mud prior to that weekend, since it does rain often. Obviously, this is just my theory and clearly speculation, but not seeing any tracks leading to or from the farm is very interesting. It makes me wonder when's the last time Dylan had cleaned his truck, and could it have been dirty already? So that's the video I put out last night, or yesterday anyway. But I think, my personal opinion, so going back to Google Earth here, and no thanks for the $5 super chat. Thanks for your continued work on Dylan's case. Great mods and subs too. Thank you so much, Doug. I appreciate your support, buddy. Yep, we're going to go out there a third time. Hopefully third time's a charm. Oh yes, we're also going to talk about the drone upgrade. We got a major drone upgrade, and I can't wait to show you guys. That'll be at the end. But oh my gosh, what we can do with this drone now, since we've got the resources. So for those that are may be new to the channel, after releasing this footage, somebody reached out to me that works with search and rescue here in Utah, and it was really cool because they're like a nonprofit organization, and they reviewed drone footage. And so I've been in contact with her, sent all the drone footage over there, which is nice. They have all the special equipment, software. They can go through all the drone footage we have. It's amazing. I've kind of shared some of that on my live show. It's amazing what they can do. And they referred us to an app. Thank you. Thank you so much, Robert, for becoming a member. That's awesome. Thank you so much, buddy. But yeah, so she suggested an app. Let me take a sip here. That's called Drone Deploy, and I'll show you guys that towards the end of the show. But what it allows the drone to do is amazing. It costs a lot of money to do. You get a 1 week free trial, but after that, then you got to pay like a crazy amount. But it's worth it because it'll let you like 3D map everything. I wish we would have had it the first 2 times we went out there, but you know, it's part of learning the process. But it's amazing. So we're super excited. So anyway, back to the theory. So over here. So I think, just like I said, the mother talked about many times that he would just walk this 5 miles right here. And so I personally think on Saturday, after he talked to his grandmother, he walked over here at some point early in the morning, and then something went down, and he never took his truck, in my opinion. This is just my theory here. But he never took his truck, made it to the grain shed, put his truck inside, the grain truck inside, and then something happened. Somebody showed up, maybe somebody was waiting, and something went down. Thank you so much, Reggie's mom, for the super chat. And thank you, WL22, so much for the $20. You guys are awesome. But I think it's a good possibility that something could have happened after he parked the truck. And then they would have tossed the boots. And then they could have took this little road here. So as you can see, it's let me zoom in here and kind of get lost. But they could have probably took the road here. There could have been, could have been more people. And then it go fully to the farm, and then probably just walk the rest of the way to not leave any tracks. And in my theory, I think he just never took the truck. And then they went to the truck and then pulled the seat forward, put the gear to 4 low. And the truck could have been dirty already. I mean, maybe even Dylan, it would be nice to know how often he cleaned his truck. I would love to ask, the family members, how often did he power wash it? I wonder if he was the one that power washed it. And they just didn't know. So, I think that's kind of interesting. But I think it's a good possibility that they tried to set up maybe so, pull the seat forward, make it look like maybe a short person, and put it to 4 low so they think it's somebody that didn't know Dylan. So, Azza says, I'm not strong enough to find Dylan because I have no connection with him. My advisors say consult with Native Americans because some of them are old and wise and have a relationship with the land. Yeah, that's not bad. There's a lot of natives. I don't know about this location. I know more out in the Uinta area, like where Fort Duchesne and stuff. There's a lot of Indian reservations out there. I don't know about this area. I'd have to look that up, but our target is going to be this area over here. I think it's interesting that you had the FBI in Park Valley. So, I mean, technically, if you want to think about it, you got 2 main ways to go from the highway. You can go into Montello here in Nevada, or you can go up into Park Valley. Could have something went down, and instead of them, maybe they tossed the phone. So something went down here, get on the road, toss the phone somewhere so it pings, or they just destroyed the phone. And so the last ping was somewhere over here. Get back onto Highway 30 and come up here somewhere and get out. And then, so I'm going to show you guys in just a minute, but there are tons of mines up in this area here. So I was doing some research. Let me move this over so you guys can see it a little better. Oh, and shout out to, for PayPal, I'm sorry, to get to it, Darlene, I believe. I don't know why. All my apps stay open, but for PayPal, it will not stay open. I got to sign into it every time. It drives me nuts. I swear. Okay, thank you so much, Darlene, for your PayPal. You are amazing. So this right here is, I'm going to back it out a little bit so you guys can see where we're at. So this is Highway 30 right here. And all these little crosses here are where mines were at. It's pretty crazy. Reggie's mom says, the logistics are confusing me. Is the label the farm meaning his home, the grain truck, and regular truck not at the farm, regular 5 miles away? Which camper does he normally sleep in? Sure, I can clear that up for you real quick. It is confusing. I made mistakes when I first was covering this. It is, let me close this out real quick. Okay. So, yeah, I'll clear that up for you real quick. So, as you can see, this is where his farm was at. His camper, his pickup truck, his farm, and the camper where he slept. So this is his home. This is his farm. Now this is taken in 2019. Yeah, so right now we're looking at kind of an outdated Google Earth right here. So, so it looks a lot different. So yeah, this is where he slept. This is where the camper was. His mother said, and then he shared this property. This property here wasn't his. He just shared it with another guy. And it's about like a square like this. And this is where some of his equipment was. His mother said that he would often just walk, back out just a little bit more, would walk from the farm to the grain truck. And I'll kind of show you what it looks like here in a minute after I show you what the mines look like. But yeah, it's pretty wild that he would walk that. I mean, that's 5 miles. But and he's a young kid. But going back over to the mines, so just to kind of give you an idea, so as you can see, this is, so his farm, back it out a little bit, too much. So his farm would say, so here's Pigeon Mountain. So his farm's kind of like somewhere about right here. You got your Highway 30. So let's just say, by chance, if they left, they have his body or something, and they left east. And then decided to ditch it. Well, now you've got the Bovine Mountains, and you've got all these little different mines. And I don't know if all of them are active or some of these could be closed off. But if they got a 2, that means there's multiple locations. But it's pretty wild. Clearly there was a lot of minerals and ores in here. So I'll just give you an idea. It's a lot to search there, but it definitely gives us some ideas of where we're probably going to go. We probably won't announce the day that we go, but we'll just probably just go live, and we'll be out there just for our safety. And we're not going to mention exactly where we're going to go, but just to kind of look back. But that's just a theory, with the authorities checking out Park Valley. And it makes sense because, like I said, this is just the only main highway to go out. Obviously, you could probably take some shortcuts through some dirt roads and go right around Park Valley. There's this main kind of dirt road that goes around it. But I think that's why they were out there a week and a half ago or a week ago. Probably talking to any of the locals. It's a pretty small town. When I looked it up, they said in 2020 there was like 79 people for the population of Park Valley. So it's very, very small. Probably just a little bit bigger than Montello, maybe. So just to get an idea of what it looks like. Probably just one school. So that definitely piques our interest and makes us want to maybe focus up north. And also, and I wish I would have had some time, but we do know of another YouTuber, and I wish I'll shout him out definitely after the show. But they are searching in this area right here, and I'm trying to think of the name. But there's a range. Let's see, does it show up? Let's see. Yeah, Delano Peak. Yep. So, yep, they're searching out in this area up north, so that's awesome. It's kind of a small YouTube channel, so I'm definitely going to put a link in the description. But they got some footage. They've been going up there, so that's pretty cool that they're up there. If it were going to rain, why would he walk 5 miles, just thinking? It's not, I mean... Gosh, even driving it is just as bad. But, I mean, it's just rain. It's not like heavy rain. Like, we've been out there when it rains. It's not like heavy rain. You get a little wind, but it's not like soaking wet rain. I mean, not to say don't do that out there, but it's pretty light rain from what we've experienced. But it's enough. But I think for a young kid, it isn't going to bother him at all. So there's some footage, of course. So I've seen some other channel, a particular channel, say, "Oh, well, he always shows the same drone footage over and over." Honestly, every time I've gone live, I've probably shown some new exclusive drone footage every time because we we went out there the second time and got like 3 times more footage, and so there's still stuff I haven't shown you guys. But I'm going to show you this, guys, and then I'm going to play a little bit. So, of course, we've all heard of Kurt, the boogeyman. So I thought I would play a little bit of his interview with True Crime Jess. So I put the link to the interview in the description. I thought we'd play a little bit of that, and I'll show you what the land is like where where he'd be walking the 5 miles that his mother says he did all the time. So I'm gonna put this up real quick. I'm gonna show you where we're at just to give you an idea. There's me setting up the camera. Got my gloves on. So we are looking, so his grain shed would have been to the left here, so we're actually looking almost directly north. So let me back up for you guys here. So we are literally, let's see, we are parked right here. So we were parked right here, and I am actually walking this. I probably walked maybe half a mile and then came back. Nick is going to fly the drone. He was doing grid searches here. Of course, we had to be careful because the FBI was up here, so obviously we wanted to go up there, but unfortunately they were over there and busy, so we couldn't fly the drone anywhere near this area here. So I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to play some of that interview if you guys haven't heard it. And I let you guys, if you haven't heard Kurt speak before, see what you guys think. Let's see, where do I got it?
And
So this interview is about an hour. I'm going to skip it to a certain part.
Why was Dylan planting so late in the year?
Okay, that's a good point.
Not because he wanted to, believe me. He was freaking out about that. But he was doing work for 2 other ranches and trying to get their work done so he, and he put some money in his pocket so he could buy his seed and his fertilizer and, things he needed.
That's a good
response. Fuel to make, his world.
I still don't think he took his truck, though.
That dough, his crop ain't going to be worth nothing. I mean, it wouldn't amount to a hill of beans. But it's all about proving that he can grow something out there. He knew he's not going to make no money. That's, the money's going to come from the side business, right? Which is the customer.
So let me, just for those that are just tuning in, so I am playing an interview with True Crime Jess and Kurt Wadsworth, the basically the boogeyman, the supposed boyfriend. And so this interview was done, I think, a little less than a week ago, I believe. But I did put the link in the description of this video if you want to catch the whole thing. And so shout out to True Crime Jess for using her content here just a little bit. Just play about like 10 minutes of it. But I want to play the part where he kind of talks about, she asks him, well, what happened with the whole hostage, or like he's being held at a house in Montello. So I wanted to kind of play that and you guys hear what his explanation is for that.
Custom farming. That's what he called it. Jones Custom Farming. So.
Oh, really? Oh, so that's okay. I didn't even know that.
So it so happened to work out that he felt like he was only a week late getting his plan. He goes, man, and it's going to rain. He said, man, as soon as I get this in the ground, it's going to rain. It's going to be beautiful. He was just happy as hell the way it kind of turned out.
Let's go back to that. Okay, interesting.
If he'd have put that, the minute he gets the seed in the ground, he's got to start running sprinkler, which would have been, if he'd have done when he wanted to, he'd have had to put water on that for a week prior to that. But because he was a week late, and then here comes the rain, he was like, what a beautiful thing. I said, yeah, I think maybe that isn't Luciferville. Somebody's looking over you a little bit out there, John.
Yeah. So, next question, I guess, is the fight with Chase Venstra. Are you the one that beat up Chase?
I would have loved to, but I never got the opportunity.
You said you would have loved to, and then what?
well, I got to beat on him. You never go home. That's how much I hate that worthless piece of shit. I mean, the guy was he's an evil, worthless person. Very talented. That guy, he could sing, he could play the guitar, the fiddle, the banjo, drums, and fix anything. He was a mechanic.
But yeah, for those that are saying 5 miles a lot, you got to remember his mom said he did that often. He'd walk everywhere. She says that constantly. So that's why I think it's a good possibility. It's just a theory. I just think that truck is more of a setup and a ruse. I don't think it's a short person, in my opinion. Shout out to Jill, and shout out to Dawn. Thank you so much for the cash out. All right, so this is the Kurt Wadsworth.
He was a tree trimmer. I mean, so talented. It was amazing. He threw it all away over drugs. It's sickening that somebody with all those talents would just throw them away. But he did. That's all he cared. When he first came here, he didn't have the wherewithal. He didn't know where to get the drugs when he first came here. But pretty soon, them tweakers, they seek you out. And they're like, you look like a tweaker. You need some? We'll give it to you for a while. But as soon as you go there, you got to start paying for it. And that's what they do. They get you on that shit. And then pretty soon, you can't live without it.
Yeah.
How long have you known Chase? Has it been a long time, or?
Probably a year and a half, probably something like that. A year and 4 or 5 months.
So has he always come to Montello, or is he new in the area, sort of?
New when he first came here, we didn't know.
It is.
So he just kind of showed up.
He kind of rolled into town and come to the Cowboy Bar and he needed some money. He said, I need some money. I got a bunch of tools in my truck I need to part with and get some money in my pocket. And the sad part of this, they were all new tools.
6:50 a.m.
Well, I never put two and two together with that. He had a story though.
Early
He said, I worked with this guy, doing some welding for him, and he asked me if I wanted cash or I wanted to take these tools, and I could see I could sell these tools for more than he owed me. So I took the tools. And that was a story, and I bought it. But I realized now that had to been a lie. Those tools were stolen from probably a hardware store or something. Because he had chainsaws and all cordless stuff, cordless drills like Rigid and Bosch, and you could pick your brand. He had it all. Pickup load of that stuff. And
Yeah, because from what I'm understanding,
No.
Chase and Robert, were like two little thieves in a pod.
Yeah, there was nothing they said suspicious about the grain truck. It was parked. They pulled it out. You see it in, I think, Heavy D Sparks' video. They obviously are the ones that pulled it out. And yes, it's been checked. For those who may be newer to the channel and haven't seen some of my newer videos, the FBI have been out there for 3 weeks now. When we went out there, they were out there. And then, so I think just as it hit the month of him being missing, is when the FBI started digging, apparently, at the grain shed.
but they hooked up way down the road. Probably because Robert was in jail when Chase came here.
Okay.
So, but when Robert got out, Chase started. I seen him start. I thought, I kind of questioned him on the tweaker thing. I said, "You ever done meth before?" "Oh no." "Well," and then he says, "Yeah, I have. Me and my wife got into that. I used to work on pipelines, and that's how I lost my job. I used to make, $150,000 a year. I got canned from that. They blackballed me because I guess he was in the union or something. That's what he said. But he said, yeah, they blackballed me. I can't even get a job with the union no more because me and my wife got into meth. But he said, well, I don't do it no more. Oh, no, I don't do it no more. And I believed him. And he probably didn't because he didn't have the money to do it. But as soon as he got some money in his pocket, oh boy, here we go.
He'd be on a binge, a methed up binge. I gotta ask the $1 million question.
Okay, here's the question.
Kurt, because they all want to know this.
Okay, so here comes the big question. This is what I was waiting for. I'm like, I know it's in here. So here's the question about what's going on.
Are you a drag queen? Do you wear makeup?
Well, if I am, I don't know.
I love how you just start laughing as soon as I ask you that question.
Must be my other life that I don't know about.
Your other life you don't know about?
Yeah, but I don't know about. Somebody knows everything, but not me.
Yeah.
I would like to see a picture or somebody that actually see me dressed in. Where's that person at? I mean, only Dylan somehow knows that, but whatever. That's a bunch of made up bullshit. And whatever. It's called freedom of speech, right? I could call him queer or a drag queen.
You could. You could tell people that you seen him eating cookies and his lips were red, or he might have been wearing makeup. We're not sure. You could see. Yeah, I mean, that's what he said about you. So
I call Dylan and they'd be true. So whatever. But no, I'm going to go there. I don't need to slander other people.
Yep, you're right.
I can deal with it. I'll deal with it because especially when it's bullshit. If I said anything about him, it'd be true because that's the way I am. I don't spew shit to people. If I know it and somebody asks, I'm going to tell them exactly what I know, and that's who I am. And people hate me for that. But oh well, I don't talk shit.
So I'll be honest. There's a lot of people that were after they heard this interview were kind of mixed. They didn't think he was the boogeyman. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of on the fence on it. I still need to hear the interview a few more times. What do you think Don Hill's part in Dylan's case? He is listed as a person of interest. So that's the thing, JR, and thank you so much for the $10. That means the world. So we're kind of in an interesting position. So I do talk about, I bring up these players, I guess, in this involved in this case, but I don't like to dive too much deep into particular people. Jim would be not a problem because now he's in jail. Chase, the same thing. But talking about Don and some of these others, you got to think that we're going to be going back out there. The last thing I want to be doing is talking about how Don could be suspicious and then running into the guy. And honestly, I don't think Don is suspicious just because we've heard a few stories about Don and they were all good. Does that make him a great person or makes him innocent? No, but from what we've heard from the locals, Don is a decent guy. So I can't really, but yeah, it kind of puts us in a tough situation when we're going to be going out there and could run into some of these people. So I do dabble on it a little bit, but I try not to go too deep into some of these persons of interest just because it's we're kind of in an interesting situation here.
yeah, I mean, when I talked to you earlier, you're just sort of a straight shooter.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to find this part where she asks what's going on with the phone call about him being held up. So I thought it was in the 30-minute mark.
I don't know if you heard my live stream this morning, person that he did.
Yeah, well, I was hanging out. I'm not sure. I got to go to Birdie tomorrow. Well, Dylan says, well, my grandpa, that's it, and we'll pump it out for the winter. No big.
People feel different. Just so we're clear, hang on a second, Kurt. Just so we're clear, what he's talking about right now is that, Dylan sort of asked him to help out, and he said yes.
Okay, hold on.
Maybe idiot will work. Imbecile will work.
So it is at the 30.
It's a dead-end road, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, we've got to be great friends. We talk a lot and talk about different things, and I guess that's what hanging out is. I made it welcome to a lot of times you couldn't get anything to eat in Cowboy. For months you couldn't get nothing to eat out except a pizza. And if my mother was in the bar, she didn't want to cook pizzas. She can't, multitask.
It's quite a talker.
And bartend at the same time. She didn't want to. And a lot of times she sees Dylan's down here, he wants a pizza. So I go down and I go and cook it for him, right?
So yeah, it's an interesting interview. I think it's over an hour. I've listened to the whole thing once, but I definitely need to listen to it a little bit more. Let's see, what time is it? So 5:30, so we've got about an hour. Let's see. Okay, I want to switch over real quick and then I'll play just a little bit more of that. See if I can find that part where he talks about the whole incident, that how, because apparently, the mother thought, they said that he'd called and said that this person, that Dylan was being held by Chase and another individual in Montello. And then, of course, they go out there and they she calls Elko, law enforcement. They go to the house. They clear the house. There's no Chase. There's nothing in the house. There's no Dylan. And so, and then of course everybody kind of jumped on Kurt. And then of course, you got the brother who is an RSO. So it definitely puts them in the spotlight for potential persons of interest. Hi, Chris. I feel he's no longer alive. His body is now we're close to the area they are searching. I hope both boys are found. Yes. Yeah, me too. Thanks so much, Jim. Yeah. I mean, after a month of not hearing anything, of course, we wish the best, but so I'm going to jump over real quick so I don't miss this. So real quick, so as you guys know, we're going to be going back out there. We've been out there twice, and now speaking with this lady that works with search and rescue, who is a drone specialist and reviews the footage with some special software. She had referred us to an app which is called Drone Deploy. It's amazing, and oh my gosh, I wish we would have had it the first time we went out there. It is so amazing. So for those that are kind of newbies to drones like we are, this is our house. And so what it did, and here, actually, let me play you just a slight little video of what it's capable of. That away. Okay, oops, not that one. Where? There it is.
Hey guys, thanks.
So see these grids right here. So you basically set up a flight plan, and it does a grid search, and then it takes all these photos along the way and records. It records and takes photos, and then what it does is it maps a 3D real time of the area that you're looking at. And so we went out yesterday to test this new app out, and let me just show you what this can do. It's amazing. So this is our neighborhood, and we flew the drone over our neighborhood, and now I can hit 3D model. This is so nuts. And now this is what we can do with this drone. Is this crazy or what? And so it took pictures, it flew over a grid, and now we can go back and look at anything, zoom in on it, hover up and down. So like that trailer that we were taking pictures of, we'd be able to move around it in real time. Well, not real time, but you know what I mean. The time that we take the photos and everything. So I'm almost up to date. And not only do that, but let's see, where do I have to view it in this? Where is the... Where's the overlays at? Oh no. Layers. Should be... I'm still learning this program, obviously. Annotation. Okay, I'll have to do this, look at it this more. Anyway, we can actually graph it. And here, I'll show you in this video here. This explains it anyway. We're still trying to learn how to work it, but you can actually look at the elevation. So here's somebody taking like a 3D image of a rock quarry, and then you can actually turn on. So yeah, he's going to turn on elevation. How do you do that? Just had that thing pop up. So yeah, it's amazing. So what's really cool about this is you can actually see where dirt has been disturbed with this elevation button. It is amazing. We can actually see where we've, like, in our own backyard, where, like, you know, I could tell where it's like a little bit hilly or a little bit dip. You can see all of that. It's amazing. Matter of fact, they just installed our fiber Google Internet, and you could tell where they had put the cable in from just mapping out the paved road in front of our thing. It is so amazing. So we cannot wait to be able to go back out there and have this app that's attached to the drone. We're so excited. And thank you so much, Michelle, for the 5 gifted memberships. I'm still trying to figure out if it's random or some people just can click the little box at the top. But thank you so much. Yes, Raina, this should help. I know. We knew that this drone was capable of some really cool things, but we had no idea that just by having an app would allow us to like map out this kind of stuff. I mean, could you imagine if we would have had that the first 2 times we went out and we're flying over areas, we could actually look at anything that might have been disturbed with the ground. So like I said, we are so stoked to go back out again and do this. And now, not only will I have drone footage, but I can actually, like, we can look at certain areas. It makes me mad that I can't figure out why I can't look at the... Where is the other... Should be some other little things here to allow me... I don't know why it's not there. I said, I'll have to figure this out. But usually there's the elevation things down here and stuff. I can't figure it out, though. Oh, well. But you guys get the idea. So, but, I mean, that is amazing. So, like I said, we could see where they put the fiber internet cable in. And, I mean, just imagine being out there and being able to do this. And so it flies over like how we were doing. Close that. So you can only imagine now we'd be able to fly this. And so while it's flying, it's actually taking pictures and maps out everything. And then now you can see like where the ground's been disturbed and the elevation, make the 3D model. And it's going to help us out tremendously. So we are super stoked. And like I said, we're definitely going to go out for Dylan sometime this week. I'm not going to announce the exact day we're going to go out just for our protection. And then hopefully within a week or 2 go out for Aiden as well. So could Dylan been struck by lightning? No, there's wildlife, but yeah, okay, so there's one thing that the locals have been looking for that we could trust. They say that the one thing is they've been looking for birds, scavenger birds, to be hovering around. And one of the locals lives on near Lion Mountain, which kind of overlooks everything. So they're kind of like got this vantage point right here. And they said they have not seen any kind of like birds like, you know, hovering around or anything. And they've been keeping an eye out for that. And they haven't seen any of that. So, but I think that's pretty smart. So, just to recap real quick, if you missed it. So the mother in the first interview, and I'll just play it one more time for you guys. Let me close this real quick. Oops, my ear itches.
You can't.
Find
Yep.
basically just a trailer.
A cam trailer, you'll see the pivot, his pickup. There's all kinds of equipment. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's
So,
all of his stuff.
This is that first interview the mother did with Heavy D Sparks, and she goes on to say where the cell phone last pinged, and so I finally found the location that they're describing. Could this be the location? Maybe it could be somewhere else, but this is just the location that she's describing. I was able to find that
day, and then they said we're calling it, and they all left.
Past that over there, you'll see the hill, and that's the last place his phone was pinged.
Yeah.
Right, that after.
Right past that shop by the railroad tracks, there's a hill you drop down in. Yeah.
You can see the road kind of goes like that, and right where it makes the bend, that's.
So that's the bend.
1541, but it gives a.
So to me, it sounds like something happened that Saturday day, or early morning, maybe even. So, and we kind of discussed a little bit about this whole like vigilante, maybe militia group that's out there patrolling at night and stuff. I guess that wouldn't really sit well if something did happen to him that Saturday after he arrived at the grain truck. So it might not have been the this vigilante group or militia. Maybe it's a little something more personal, maybe over money, but you know, it's tough to say. It's hard to speculate in our position too much with the, you know, certain people, because like I said, they're still out there and we don't want to run into them. And you know, all we want to do is just find Dylan. That's all we care about. You know, we're just Team Dylan. You know, I know a lot of people don't really, I know either people love Jim Terry or hate him. Like I said, I do talk to him occasionally, just because if we're going to use every resource we have available to us. And so, you know, and if Jim Terry does get you know, some kind of tip that could help us find Dylan, then of course, I mean, we got to look into everything. But it sounds like it's a good possibility that something went down that Saturday, maybe day. If they're saying that the cell phone possibly pinged around this location here, this is definitely where they're talking about. So I wanted to show you guys that. And then just real quick to recap, because like I said, not having the tire tracks makes me suspicious. Makes me think that he just walked to the grain truck. You know, every time we went out there, we saw tire tracks, and it was just after a storm. You would think you would see something in and tracks coming in and to and from that farm. And then the other thing we've been looking at is the mines that are up here to the north, which it looks like there's a lot of them up here. I'm sure some of them have been shut down, but from this update here, make that look better. But so this is kind of our target area next time we go out somewhere in this area. As I said, we think it's interesting that the FBI went to check out Park Valley. And then, like I said, you really only have two main roads. Obviously, you can go northwest, south, east, but you know, you just have the major highway that goes basically east and west. And so either, you know, if they did take this highway, it's going to either take them to Nevada or it's going to take them up here. And they could have maybe dumped Dylan up in this area here. So that's kind of something we're looking into. But let me check my phone real quick for some shout outs real quick. If I do miss you, I will get you guys on the next live that I do. And then, like I said, there's that interview with Kurt. If you haven't heard it and you're interested that I played that, the link is in the description of this video if you want to check out the full thing. Let's see, let me check my notes, make sure I covered everything. So yeah, I'm gonna probably do a short video on the phone just for anybody that wants to use that. And like I said, the other cell phone tower, like I said, the cell phone tower that we were getting our signal from was this one up here on Bald Eagle. But there's also cell tower 2 over here, which is in Bovine Mountain here. And from what they're saying is it pinged on the edge. So if it's on the edge, it would make sense that this is where they're talking about. So Copper Horse with the 20 gifted memberships. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Copper Horse. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Yes, watch that to the end. It was intended to make Kurt look good, but reveals that he's shady and dishonest. Okay. Interesting. We'll take a look at it. Okay, for those, I do, so at the end of the show, I have a little outro where I play the viewers' pets. If you'd like to send in pictures of your pet, you can email me. It's in the description. I'm sure my mods have been putting in the chat. I didn't get a chance to finish the new videos, so we're just going to be the same videos last time I played. The next time I go live, I'll have a new rotation of pets. I just didn't quite get enough finished today to get the new video. So if you have sent some in recently, I have them and they're put together. It's just I still got to finish the video, so I apologize. But I'm just one person, so thank you so much, Cynthia, for the $5 super chat. You're awesome. So yeah, we are going back out there. We've got better resources, better apps for this drone. We're going to do some 3D mapping. So yeah, thank you, members. We've doubled our members. Thank you again so much for the 30K. I guess we hit 31K, so thank you guys so much for that. And of course, thank you to all the mods for everything you guys do. You guys are amazing. Lynn, if you're in here, if you could email me, because I need to give you a gift. So, and then Melissa, who won the giveaway, I need you to email me as well. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys are all amazing. I love you guys so much. We'll probably do 1 or 2 lives before we go out there. But I hope you guys, for those who are here in America, have a safe 4th of July. Thank you so much, SD, for the $4 super chat, super sticker. You're awesome. Jane Flowers, great work, Chris and Nick. Congrats on 30K. Thank you. Yeah, 31K. We're climbing. That's awesome. How do you become a member? My mods can put that in there. If you're on the iPhone, you got to take a few extra steps to go around, but try to click the box at the top. The little gift there, if there's still any left, I'm not sure. This is something newer on my channel with the gifted memberships. I think I've had it just a little over a week now. Yeah, I'm feeling much better. Oh yeah, so last time I took something because I just got over the shingles. I think today is like the last day of the shingles. I feel so much better. But I took something on an empty stomach, and it just made me just absolutely sick. And then I like panicked because I'm like trying not to yak, and so that was just the worst, the worst. So yeah, I had like a small panic attack with the trying not to vomit on screen. So yeah, I just took something on an empty stomach. So, but much better. And yes, I think I'm over the shingles. It took like 3.5 weeks to get over. It sucks. So yeah, that's a good way to look at it, ladies of Angel. There's no signs of life and no signs of death. I'm still hopeful. That's awesome. There you go, Will. Select join and click join and then select allow gifts. Thank you, Will. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was the guy. I think it was the Gavin Benton. That's what it was. Yeah, I just didn't realize I didn't have anything and popped, the Gavin Benton just before I went live, and then it was like, whoop. So, thank you so much, Sheila, for the $4.99 super sticker. You're awesome. Also, Karen Lee, I need to get a hold of you as well. Did you get the shop for that? No, I just got Gavin Penton. I couldn't go in there because I was contagious, so I only did the phone call. So no, I did not get a shot for it. Any news about the fight in town? The fight in town. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, they are. So, alright guys, so I want to play the outro, and I love you guys. Have a safe 4th of July, and I think it's just ping the phone, and then the phone probably died or was destroyed after that. So it wasn't a call or a text, the phone was just on, and that was the last time the device was like active, and then it must have been shut off after that. I'm assuming that's what they're talking about with the last cell phone ping. Is this the last time when they sent out a signal, they came back at 3:41, and then after that there was no signal. So assuming, and with the coverage from the 2 towers, you would think even if he got outside this circle, Sorry to keep going on. So if he got outside this tower, so because obviously they said it's on the edge, and he was headed this way, clearly this tower would have picked up a new signal, and it would have pinged somewhere, you know, here. So that also makes me think that he's more in this general area here, or maybe just his phone, but it's something to go off of anyway. Yes. Yeah, I think so, unless it's destroyed. It depends on the phone, too, but I think a lot of them do. Yeah, even if it's turned off, it still can be tracked, I believe. Not 100% on that. But. So, did we give all the gifted memberships? I just don't want to shut the channel down and there still be some memberships left. Can you let me know if there's any members left? Because I don't want to shut it down and have a... Yeah, thank you, Elmo. Yeah, we will be safe. Of course, we will bring protection this time. Thank you so much, Corey. Pilot Mountain Road. Yeah, oh yeah, that's where I popped my tire, Daniel. Popped my tire was on Pilot Mountain Road. Ooh. It's rough. It's rough driving on that thing. Okay, YouTube hands them all out. Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, cool. I just didn't want to go. Okay, so I'm going to play the outro. Like I said, I'll update it next time for the new pets and stuff. If you haven't emailed me your pets, please email me. It takes a while to get them in, but I do get them in, so... just my email. And then put the name if you can. So when you email me, put the name of the pet, obviously, in the picture, and we'll get it up eventually. It takes a bit, so... Alright, I love you guys. Have a safe weekend.